Hi everyone, did you listen to that sound? That was the sound of an airplane. Today we have many airplanes, but in the past, airplanes did not exist. Thanks to the Wright brothers, we have airplanes today. Obviously, airplanes weren't like the one we see in this picture. The first airplanes were different, similar to the one we see in this picture. And remember, this was the first model of the Wright brothers. As you remember, in the previous lesson, we talked about the Wright brothers and their main invention, the plane. In the previous lesson, we also learned about simple past, and we focused particularly on regular verbs and affirmative sentences using those regular verbs. In this lesson, we're going to learn about simple past of regular verbs, but this time in negative. Let's remember what we saw in the previous lesson. We learned about affirmative sentences. And affirmative sentences look like this. The Wright brothers invented the plane many years ago. This is an affirmative sentence. What we do here is to use the verb in simple past. Remember, we form the past of regular verbs using ed endings or other endings. As I said, we're going to learn about the negative form in this class. Let's see how we create negative sentences in simple past with regular verbs. I'm going to use some pictures here. In these pictures, I have a car, a church, and an airplane and the map of Mexico. Let me ask you one thing. Did the Wright brothers invent the car? No, they did not invent the car. They invented the plane. Remember that the Wright brothers had a bicycle shop, and in that bicycle shop, they designed their airplanes. Did they use a church to design their airplanes? The answer is no. They did not use the church to design their airplanes. And the final example, I have this small airplane and the map of Mexico. The first airplane traveled 120 feet. That was the longest distance it traveled. So if I ask you, did the first plane travel from the US to Mexico? The answer is obvious. No, it didn't travel from the US to Mexico. Let's see how the sentences look. The first sentence we have, the Wright brothers did not invent the car many years ago. What did they invent? They invented the airplane. Second example, the Wright brothers did not use the church to design their planes. Where did they design their planes? They used their bicycle shop to design their planes. And the last example, the first plane did not travel from the US to Mexico. Remember, the first airplane traveled only 120 feet, a very short distance. When we create sentences in negative in the simple past with regular verbs, we need some elements. Let's see those elements. The first element is the auxiliary did, but this is not enough. We need something else. And so here we use did plus not. In some cases, you can also see a contraction. That contraction is didn't. In the examples we're going to use in this class, we're going to use this form, did plus not. But remember, you can also use the contraction didn't. You may be asking yourself, what is the rule to form negative sentences in simple past with regular verbs? Well, it's very simple. What you have to do is use the auxiliary did plus the word not. But be careful, you need something else. You need to eliminate or delete the ed ending of those verbs in simple past. In affirmative sentences, we have an example like this. The Wright brothers invented the airplane. In the negative sentence, remember we use did, not, but we have to eliminate the ed ending. In this example, I have the Wright brothers did not invent the bicycle. As you can see, I use the word did, the word not, and what I do is to eliminate the ed ending of the word. Let's see some examples that we can use in our everyday life. I can say, for example, I did not visit my friends last week. A second example, Mario did not prepare coffee last night. And one example that probably you know very well is the last one. My family did not collect coffee beans because it rained hard. These were some examples so you can start using your sentences in negative form. In this activity, you're going to use sentences in negative form. And remember, you will have to use the auxiliary did, the word not, and you have to eliminate the ed ending of the verb. In total, you're going to write only 3 examples in negative form. This is all for this class. I will see you in the final video.